everyone and welcome. My name is Monica. I'm one of the ambassadors of Disneyland Paris. Thank you for joining us today for this special event of Disney Adventure World. It's wonderful to have you with us. This roundtable will bring together key figures behind the project who will share their perspectives and their expertise. So it's now my pleasure to introduce our speakers. MICHEL DULK, Vice President and Portfolio Executive Creative Director at Walt Disney Imagineering. HARREL, Vice President Entertainment of Disneyland Paris. CÉCILE, LEQUEUX, Director of Food and Beverage Product. And Jean-David Marc, Vice President Merchandise, Product and Operations. Thank you all for being here today. It's a very exciting moment. Tomorrow marks a historic day for Europe's top tourist destination, as World of Frozen open alongside with many new experiences at Disney Adventure World, the reimagined second park of Disneyland Paris. Michel, what is this transformation all about?
Well, it's all about making a beautiful, great second gate here in Paris. Of course, we had the second gate, we had the Walt Disney Studios, but we really made a step now and expanded the park and added new magic to the park that I think our guests will really enjoy. And the thing is, it's also not over yet, right? We're still continuing on this expansion. So the goal is really like to double the size of the park with new experiences, and we made this first grand step in adding World of Frozen, a beautiful nighttime spectacular, food and beverage, merchandise. There's a lot to explore here.
Let's dive right into the Kingdom of Arendelle, which every detail has been designed to recreate the iconic scenes and location of the Frozen films. One of the most popular stories ever produced by the Walt Disney Imagination Studios.
Yes, so we really think, well, we don't think, we know that Frozen is like an evergreen story for our company, and it just made sense to create a land here in Paris that is based on those stories. Of course, we are here in the European Disney park, the Disney resort, and Frozen, of course, has its roots in European storytelling. Of course, it's very loosely based on Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen. So to have a Northern European charming wooden little village here at Disneyland Paris where you can see your Frozen characters, favorite Frozen characters, it just made sense to add that to the lineup of Disneyland Paris.
And World of Frozen will also offer a brand new family attraction, Frozen Ever After.
Yes, this is number 3 of the installment. It's been 13 years of my career working non-stop on that attraction, more or less. But the one here in Paris, again, it's a fantastic ride. It's really, it wants to, it's supposed to be like a feel-good attraction, right? You go in there and you just feel happy going through it. It's like passing past your favorite characters, hearing your favorite songs. It's in a different context, right? Because it's not really a retelling of the story, but it's a happily ever after times. Some people may know that the song Let It Go for this attraction was changed just by one word. Only one word in that song changed, and that was the word, well, Elsa sings like, it's time for me to see what I can do. And in the attraction she sings, it's time to share what I can do. And that one word kind of puts it in the context of the happily ever after story that we created for the attraction. But it's a fun attraction, a little bit of thrill, a fun drop into plunges into the darkness. So yeah, I hope everybody here can check it out.
And that's not all. During your visit, guests can participate in a one-kind of celebration, the Snowflower Festival, that brings the entire village of Arendelle to life. Dana, at this occasion, I believe they will have several opportunities to meet the Frozen characters.
Oh my goodness, yes. So what we were thinking about for Arendelle was, okay, we're an adventure world now. We wanted to be able to give our guests the most immersive, interactive experience they could possibly have. So there's lots of opportunities to interact with the characters. If they want to meet Anna and Elsa, they can go through the portrait gallery and they can meet Anna and Elsa in a beautifully designed encounter. And that is a very special moment. They can also meet Mossy, who is the cutest little guy ever. Well, she is the cutest little gal ever. And they can interact with Mossy, have a conversation with her, and she'll actually talk back to them. And they can also have moments with Oaken, which is super hilarious and fun. And then a few times during the day, we have a celebration of the actual Snowflower Festival. We asked Bobby and Kristen Anderson Lopez, who wrote all of the music for the Frozen films, for all 3 Frozen films now, and we asked them, would you guys write an original song for the Snowflower Festival? And they said, yes, we would love to. So they wrote this incredible song. It's part of the festivities, and a few times a day, you can see Anna, Elsa. We have a little sleeping guy who is having a little snore. So I'm gonna go back to the Snowflower Festival, but
It's a very long day.
But I also have to tell you, this is about how interactive it is. Every single element, Jean-David and Cécile, myself and Michelle, we all really thought about how can people come into this land and feel like they are either a visitor to Arendelle or actually a villager. And we wanted them to be able to interact as such. So every element is interactive, just like our toys. But I'll let you talk about all of that. And then, so I'm going back to the Snowflower Festival. So the Snowflower Festival is a great, wonderful celebration in the lagoon a number of times a day. And you can actually see all of our characters come to life. So Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, Olaf, as well as the villagers, in a great celebration with fantastic music, lots of color, and of course special effects. So what we're trying to do is really give people a lot of points of interaction and celebration throughout the day.
And it's such a beautiful and joyful show. We all love it. You will love it. And after all that excitement, to take a break and recharge after adventures through World of Frozen, guests can find the perfect sport, right, Cécile?
Yes, exactly, Monica. So we are really excited to soon welcome our guests into a new experience restaurant, the Nordic Tavern. So this is a fantastic restaurant where the decor traces the history of the royal families. You can see portraits, you can see decoration from their travels. And our visitors will be able to eat for breakfast, lunch, but also dinner. And for this menu, our chefs, they really put all their hands into it, so that they review the stories of the Nordic traditions, they've read culinary books, they rewatch the movies several times just to be sure to offer exactly what we need for this new restaurant. So our visitor will be able to have like a grilled salmon, with quinoa and vegetables, and also enjoy, for example, a snowflake for dessert or a blue ice cream. And for kids, or maybe for adults, you can spot that we got inspired by these cute little snowgies. It's a teasing, so.
And a visit of Arendelle could not be complete without the opportunity to bring back home few souvenirs. What will guests be able to find on David?
Well, good morning, everyone. We are really excited to have you discover our brand new range of exclusive merchandise. We feel we have a really important responsibility with the merchandise team, because if you really think about it, the merchandise is the only thing that is physical of Disney Paris that you can take home, right? And so it is a thing you put on your bedside table, in your kitchen, maybe on your office desk, that would remind you of the precious memories that you've built once you were here. So we've developed a full range of products with some completely exclusive to us. So they were designed in Paris by a team based here. And the idea are 2 things. The first thing, the most important, you're coming to a festival, is the Snowflower Festival. And so you need to get dressed for it. You can see Dana perfectly dressed for the Snowflower Festival. So we have a big range of merchandise that helps you participate into the Snowflower Festival. The idea behind that range that you'll discover later, it is trendy, it is inspired by the latest trends in colors, it is obviously very Scandinavian as well. And the idea is you can take part, you are almost like a villager of Arendelle. So that's a big part of the range. And then there's another entire part of the range which is all about bringing some memories at home, or also interacting with the land. And apologies for the snoring earlier, that's unacceptable, but Runa is very tired because she's been very busy, and I'll talk a little bit more about Runa in a minute, but we've developed completely new experiences to push the immersion for our guests as far as we could. And so for the first time, we have Runa that will interact with the land. And so that's very unique, and that will push the degree of immersion for our guests. We have two stores. One is Arendelle Boutique, right at the exit of the attraction. Great moment. It's a toy shop. You will see at the top of the shelf some products that have actually been found that are authentic, so authentic toys to give that theme and that immersion. And then we have also the Regal View shop just outside by the lagoon, where you'll find Runa and also another experience that I'll talk to you about in a minute.
And once guests have explored the charming boutiques of Arendelle, it's time to set sights on an even bigger adventure. Tomorrow, Walt Disney Studios Park becomes Disney Adventure World, featuring Adventure Way, a majestic new avenue. Michel, what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I think Adventure Way is, to me, part of the quintessential change of the park. From tomorrow, the fences will be taken away, and what was once basically the end of the park, you came out of Studio One, and you immediately were greeted by the end of the park. It wasn't physically the end of the park, but it was the entrance of the tram tour. You couldn't walk further than that. Now, from tomorrow, when the fences go away, you will have this long distance view into the park, and it's an instant reminder, an instant realization that the park really changed and became so much bigger. This long distance view, and it is grand when you see that view towards Frozen, is going to be a game changer for the park. I mean, it never had sight lines like this before. Because it was such a compact park. Everything was very close to each other. That kind of makes it charming in a way, but I think now we add charm and beauty to the park that it's, I think, never really had in the same way. So we're really happy to add the details, to add a lot of greenery also. Of course, we're very early still in the spring. We're lucky that some of the leaves already come out, are populating the trees, but also over the years, this expansion will only get better, because imagine the promenade in 5-6 years from now, when the trees are a little more full grown and the plants are all full grown. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. And then of course the lake, you come out of the promenade at the very end, and then you have this grand, beautiful lake, and Frozen is so beautifully situated. The silhouette is gorgeous, and how it's reflecting in the water. It's something emotional, right, that you experience while walking through these areas that, like I said, the park did not have, but now has. And for the first time, I think, we'll have a situation here where you will have to make a choice, right? Ideally, you don't make a choice, you go to both. But we have a beautiful park that we, of course, have, the Disneyland Paris park. But now we'll have something else also next door where you really go like, oh gosh, I really want to see Frozen, or gosh, like in the future also, I really want to see The Lion King, or oh gosh, I really want to see the Nighttime Spectacular, or the Frozen show on the lagoon. So that's a new situation for us.
But it's going to be majestic. The choices that we're going to take are going to be very nice. And one of these experiences is a new attraction as well.
On Adventure Way, we have a small little attraction, Tangled with Pond Spin. It's a take on a teacup ride, but they're not teacups. They look visually like little boats, and it just looks really charming, especially at night when it comes to life with all the lanterns and the popcorn lights on the outside of the building. And there's a little reflecting pond that we also created in front of it, so then it will reflect in that water. So it has its own little lake next to it, again playing with reflections in the water. So yeah, it's really charming. It also adds some kinetics to the promenade, you might notice that opposite of it there's construction fences. So we're already working on another small family attraction there that we announced last year, and that will also add kinetics to the promenade. So I can't wait also until that's done. So you really have these two really charming attractions that flank the promenade before you then arrive at this grand moment and see the immersive world of Frozen across the lake.
And during the day, Adventure Way will come alive with unforgettable Disney character experiences.
Yes, so what we wanted to do is we took inspiration from the idea of the compass. So this is where the adventure begins. You can go visit Pixar, you can visit Avengers Campus, you can visit Frozen. This is the center of the adventure. And so we wanted to do lots of fun interactive moments for our guests as they stroll through these gardens. And if you haven't been there, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous, and it's a great place to reflect, look at the water, but also interact with our characters, as well as a bunch of entertainment that we're offering. We've got an amazing meet and greet with Mickey and Minnie in beautiful outfits inspired by these gardens. We've got a gazebo to right across from the Tangled ride. This gazebo has the most precious musical moment with Rapunzel and Flynn and original instruments that all, of course, live playing. We will be having a Miguel moment as well in a few months. We are trying to really bring to life these beautiful gardens so it always feels like something is going on. We also have, of course, Minnie's marching band. You can see that a few times during the day. All live musicians with Minnie leading all of them. Super, super fun. People are stopping, they're rocking with it. It's a lot of great entertainment throughout the day.
It's a perfect blend of music, characters, celebration.
It really is, and what we see is that it's great for all of our guests, right? So the littlest ones, they can interact. The older folks that are coming in to see the land, they're having a wonderful time enjoying the music. And the differences in the music choices that we've made really span the Disney songbook. So it's a great day of entertainment. And what we've also tried to do is really fill it with thought around creating a full day of experiences. So during the day, you'll have all of these interactions. You can go over to Frozen, and then of course at night, and I'll talk about that in a minute, you have that kiss goodnight. So we've really thought about what is a full day of entertainment for our guests.
A full day of adventures. Adventure Way will also offer a wide array of dining options with numerous culinary experiences, including a new table service restaurant. Cécile, what can you share about it?
So what I can tell you is that the Regal View restaurant and lounge is really stunning. So when you enter, you feel the elegant atmosphere. There is a fantastic murals picturing our beloved Disney character princesses. You can spot all of them. You have also like really nice frames with their companions. There is also this hand-painted plates that have been crafted by the Royal Delft factory. So that's really fantastic. Every detail is here, like to really pull the guest into this elegant and nice atmosphere. And for this location, our chefs, they really got inspired by the stories of these princesses. So this is like the summer retreat of the princesses. So we have designed flavors, texture that are inspired by these faraway flavors. So for example, you will be able to taste for starter an avocado mousse with a mango tartare and with a small crumble, or you can have a gilt head sea bream with kaffir lime and vanilla sauce and sweet potatoes. And for dessert, dessert.
That sounds very delicious, like we are all starting to get
Yeah.
a little bit.
So for dessert, wait for it. You can enjoy the signature dessert, which is the Regal View book, which is a vanilla entremet with raspberry and some crusty praline. And also, we got a bit innovative for the dessert. So the chef worked on something a bit different. So we created a seasonal fruit tartlet. And actually, like the paste of the tartlet is made with a 3D printer. So we are printing the crust in the shape of a basket, filling it with fresh fruits. That's really gorgeous.
I bet it is. And the Regal View restaurant and lounge, as the name hints, will also be the very first lounge located inside either of the two Disneyland parks.
So exactly, so this lounge, it's really the ideal place to just sit, relax, and enjoy this amazing view on the lake, on the world of Frozen. And while you sit, you can also sip some drinks that were created by our barmen. So for example, you can enjoy a royal kir made with the champagne that is the Disneyland special cuvée from the Maison Pierre Mignon. Also, we developed fruity cocktails inspired by the Four Seasons, and of course a range of savory and sweet snacks like this caramelized puff pastry dessert that is fantastic.
All in all, the culinary experiences at Adventure Way will make every visit as tasty as it's magical. John David, what do you have in store for guests who want to bring home a souvenir of their journey into Disney Adventure World?
Well, we've also developed a brand new range that showcase what the new park is going to be about, so Disney Adventure World. So all of the merchandise that was linked to Walt Disney Studio is gone. And now we have a new range, and you will see we have designed something very unique which showcases the skyline of the park. It is unique, it's inspired by some trends that we've seen outside. You may have seen it, sometimes we see for Dubai or New York, just a line. And so the team has designed what the skyline of the park looks like, and we've done a brand new range of products all around the adventure and the skyline. So big range of merchandise around it. So.
And Dana, you just mentioned it before, the adventure is not over yet. So at nightfall, something extraordinary will awaken at Adventure Day with Disney Cascade of Lights, the second nighttime show of Disneyland Paris.
This is the very first time we have decided to do a nightly nighttime show in Adventure World. It's called Disney's Cascade of Lights, and it is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It combines pyrotechnics, drones, fountains, flames, all in proximity. So it is not only a technological feat, but it's also a creative feat. It's a beautiful story that invites guests to find their own inner strength. And so we utilize some of our favorite IP like Mulan, Up, The Avengers, Moana, and it really is a story to engage our audiences so that they can feel like they can be a hero as well. And let me tell you something. You have never been this close to a nighttime spectacular before. It is not, really honestly, the only word I can think about it is spectacular, because it is a spectacular. It is interactive, it is, the proximity is amazing, the storytelling is really great, and we're utilizing technology in a new way. So we're hoping that this is truly the kiss goodnight that Adventure World deserves.
And as always in Disneyland Paris shows, music will play an important role in this experience.
Yes, we have an original soundtrack for this new show. It's called "You Can Be a Hero," and people are humming it everywhere. So it's been really, really great to feel the magic that is happening around the lake at night.
Walt Disney said, Disney will never be completed. It will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world. And the future of Disney Adventure World is already taking shape. Dana, Michel?
Yeah, the future is, like I said, we're not stopping, right? Where we are today, we are continuing. So, and the proof of that is when you are walking into this expansion, yes, everything that we are opening from tomorrow, well, tonight, but tomorrow for our guests, looks beautiful. But there's also evidence of activities elsewhere, right? Tower cranes. So they'll be around for a little while to create the next cool things that we are planning to put on the lake. So that's really exciting to have the momentum going and continue with the expansion of the park. So there's a lot to look forward to.
And entertainment-wise, entertainment is ephemeral and seasonal. So what we have planned are a lot of really fantastic offerings throughout the year, including a brand new cavalcade that is going to feature Moana, and that's coming out this summer. And I don't know if any of you have seen some of the artwork. Is it behind me? Okay, good. Just making sure. Some of the artwork, it is a totally different kind of cavalcade with great music, great dancing, and it'll happen a few times a day throughout the Adventure World.
I'm very excited for guests to experience all of these stories, characters, products, food, as only Disneyland Paris can deliver. So now we would like to hear from you. Michel, Dana, Cécile, Jean-David, yes?
Yes, sorry, Monica. I meant to introduce you to Runa,
Please,
which
please.
I meant to do earlier and I didn't do. So we were mentioning that from the merch standpoint, we have three main objectives when we develop products: exclusivity, inclusivity, and also something around innovation. And this little guy here, or girl, you can decide, is a very good example of this. So this is Runa, and I'll let you find out what Runa means. It's a word that comes from Finland. Runa will be available in the land and has several capabilities, a lot of capabilities. The first thing that she can sleep when she wants to, as you may have heard earlier. But Runa can do three main things. She can interact with you, so I'm going to try to get her.
You're funny.
Finds me funny, and I am funny. No? Okay, fine. So Runa can speak to you and interacts with you. You can see that Runa has her own crystal, and the crystal can change color. And again, once you push on a crystal, Runa would say different things to you. Runa falls asleep when you lay her down. She laughs when you tickle her. She does laugh when you tickle her normally. So that's one function. The other thing that Runa does that is incredible is if Runa meets another Runa, they connect together and they start a conversation. So in the land, if you have your own Runa in your basket, and the basket has been designed so you can carry it easily, then if you come across another Runa with another family, they will connect together and they will start having a conversation. So that's the second important functionality. And the last one, which we are very proud of, is Runa will leave the experience with you. So as you walk into the land, Runa will say how she feels based on what you're about to do. So I'll give you an example, and I will let you discover this afternoon. There is a map that shows some areas of interaction, but I'll give you one example is if you walk into the attractions with Runa next to you, as you go under the gate to get into the ride, Runa will start vibrating and shake and say, oh, I'm so excited about what we're about to do together. And so in the land, there are some points, I'm not going to tell you how many, go and discover for yourself today. But the idea is that Runa amplifies your immersion and your experience, because all of a sudden you have a body living that experience into the land and that Snowflower Festival with you. So it's very unique. It's only available in Disneyland Paris. And finally, to start the immersion, there is what we call a friendship ceremony. So again, it takes some responsibility to take Runa with you. And so the cast members in the land will make sure you are responsible enough to be worthy of taking Runa with you. So it's a completely new experience. We're very proud of it. It's a lot of work from the teams to get to that, a lot of teams involved, to get to that new, completely new experience. So.
Thank you, John David. It's true that it's going to be a beautiful memory of our days in Arendelle and a great friend to take back home.
Yes. Yes, it's very unique, and you know, once you take it home, you can bring it back in the future, and you can still live the experience. It works at home as well. So again, it's very special. It's a very special. It's a troll, like Mossy. So, and we were talking about inclusivity. And so throughout the range, and I'll let you look for yourself this today, the idea, for example, of this product is that it's gender free. So both boys and girls can be excited to be with Runa, you know, and now it took a lot of thinking from the team to do that, because we could have the conception that Frozen and the world of Frozen could be for little girls, but it isn't. There is the experience, the food, but also the merch has been designed so that we have everybody in mind. I'm wearing some merchandise that can fit for men. There is some merchandise for everyone, and that's what drives us when we create this, is this unique emotion they can take home, and that everyone can find something that they love.
Thank you. So do you have any questions? I think that we have the time to answer some questions. I'm going to go down to pass on the mic.
Hi there, very excited to be here. Thomas Adamson from Associated Press. A question really to everybody, but maybe Michel and Dana. Just talking about the kind of $60 billion investment over 10 years. Paris, very clearly part of the global build-out, and my question is this resort mainly receiving the investment, or is it actually helping define the template Disney wants to export for the next decade? And a second part of the question, reports that, you know, nearly $18 billion profit last year was from the Disney theme park business. To what extent does that give Paris more creative freedom, and to what extent does that make you kind of risk averse for certain things, or could you just comment on those two, which I find interesting and to get into the global context?
Well, some of you might have seen that yesterday we had a very special guest here at the resort. President Emmanuel Macron was here, and I had the honor to meet him personally. And he was here, of course, to see what the original investment that we announced years ago, that we kept our promises, Disneyland Paris and the Walt Disney Company, and invest the money here at Disneyland Paris. And I can tell you, he was very happy to see what he saw. He interacted very nicely with our casts, because we also, of course, hired a lot of new people, a lot of new casts to operate the area here. So, like I said, it's just really exciting times here for Disneyland Paris, and we're continuing. Of course, we announced the Lion King land, which is the first Lion King themed area in any Disney park to debut. There's the smaller family attraction on the promenade, and of course, we're always thinking about what could be next, right? But it's too early to talk about what could be next. I hope you understand. You probably expected that I would say that anyway. But it's exciting times for us. We notice that there's a lot of enthusiasm and excitement actually from people all around the world about what we're presenting today and what we have announced is coming to the resort. So, we really hope that we can further build on that momentum in all disciplines. Everybody here on the stage and in the resort is working on that. And as soon as there's something, as soon as the time is right for it, then we'll announce what else might be coming.
And if I can add something from a creative standpoint, because you asked about autonomy and creativity. From a merchandise standpoint, we have complete autonomy and independence into what we create. And the reason behind is because some of the stories are global, right? Water Frozen and Frozen is a global story. But the guest is different by region. And so each of the parks have a different approach. I'm sure it's the same for food, probably the same for entertainment, is we develop products with one thing in mind, is our audience. And so we know who's coming into our parks. The guests coming into Disney Paris are different to the guests going into Shanghai, into Hong Kong. And so we develop merchandise that is going to be adapted to the audience that is coming in. So from a merchandise standpoint, we have complete autonomy into what we do. Our sole purpose is to think about every type of guest and make sure that no one leaves frustrated that they didn't find something they love to have a memories of their visit into Disney Paris.
Yeah, at the core of everything we develop is the guest experience. We really think about how do we bring families together? How do we have families be able to connect with each other, bond with each other as they're having a day in the park? It is really to the core of every single thing we do. And we've been given the gift of thinking about the future of entertainment, and we don't take that gift lightly. So we are always thinking about how our family is going to experience the park now, how our family is going to experience the park 10 years from now, and then we talk to each other about making sure that every aspect of that experience is as fulfilling as possible. We know that they have a lot of choices out there, and we're very grateful that they choose to come to Disneyland Paris.
Thank you. So we have the time for one last question.
Monica, regarde juste devant.
Hi everyone, Andrea Costa from Observador, Portugal. So I have a question from the creative point of view, maybe for all of you or for the ones who want to answer. Is there in your line of work a specific detail that maybe the guest won't notice, but you're most proud of?
Oh, I have a huge list. I mean, these are the... Okay, so one of the things that makes me so incredibly proud is the attention to detail that our entertainment team puts to every single thing that we do. Everything from the costumes or the Arendelle villager garb that they do, but every single thing is so well thought out. So a couple of little things are, there's a couple of hidden Mickeys in our boats that just make me giggle every single time I see them. There's a couple little lines that Olaf says that make me laugh hysterically. You have to watch the show a couple of times in order to really hear them. They are the funniest things. And then probably one of my favorites is that as you watch Minnie's band go down Main Street, okay, this makes me so happy. When Minnie's band is going down Main Street, when it passes Avengers Campus, they play Avengers music. When they pass by Pixar, they're playing Pixar music. It is so beautifully thought out, and they do it like that. And you don't notice, you're just sort of having fun with the music. Every single thing. We take a lot of our inspiration out of the attention to detail that WDI puts into every single thing that they do, and we follow suit. And I think all of us think the same way. It's the details, that's the Disney difference. And so, honestly, find me afterwards, I'll give you a huge list. I find every single bit of the entertainment totally delightful.
In terms of food, I think our chefs really see themselves as storytellers. They really love our stories, and they really put their heart together to really translate the story, the character of the princesses or the characters into every product that they developed. So for example, for the Regal View, there is a soup with an okra donut. It's really inspired by the story, by the movie, so they really think about, okay, what maybe this character will do in the story and how can we translate it in the plate and how can we make our visitor feel that they are also part of the story. So I think we should be proud also of that.
And for the merchandise part, so what I'm the most proud of is something you will never see, is the amount of sweat and tears that has gone into making these products. For some of us, we work very in advance, so we started making some of these items more than 2 years ago. It's a long process, and there is a lot of layers into the products that you may never see. From the type of material that is used, from the inspiration from Scandinavia, because a lot of the merch that has been developed is also completely inspired by Scandinavia and the craftsmanship of Scandinavia. And I can give maybe an example of something you may not notice, but that we are proud. Can you show your sleeve, the sleeve of your jacket? So see, the jacket that Dana is wearing is part of the range that is a lifestyle range, right? So if you don't really look, you don't see Anna and Elsa on the sleeves. No, you may not see it from here, but actually they are in it, they are been lined into it. So this is a range that we are also particularly proud, because if I don't tell you, you don't notice, and maybe you don't even know it's from Frozen. And that's one of our points when we design something fashionable, is we want also people to be able to wear it almost outside the park and looks nice and trendy. But we still layer the stories discreetly. So have a look later in the store, come and find me, I can show you, but there's a lot of work that has gone into making the stories part of the products, but sometimes it's very hidden.
I'm just gonna tell y'all my birthday's on Monday, and so my husband's taking me out to dinner, and I was like, oh, this is really cute. I should totally wear it to dinner. So I'm telling you, and I would never ever think that, but this is so cute. I thought it would be fantastic for a dinner out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
For me, I mean, there's a lot of details that I love, and I could mention, like Dana said, and there's also one particular detail in Frozen that we don't really mention, but that is really special. So you have to figure out what that is yourself. But I will mention the music that we created for the promenades. When you walk over Adventure Way, and you'll hear new music, and it's not a Disney theme. It's a Disney theme now because it's playing in our Disney park. We had the opportunity to create completely new music, and it really emphasizes the area that brings you to the immersive worlds like Frozen, like Lion King in the future. And it's beautiful, but the nice detail that's attached to it is, like, when I asked a French composer to write this music, I wanted to have a French composer write this music to add a little bit of a French touch to the quality of the music and the experience. But I didn't know that his history was tied to Disneyland Paris. We had him over here at Disneyland Paris. We had our first conversations, and I love this film music, so I only knew him from that. But then he told us, like, well, you know, I actually started my career here because he was the resident piano player at the Disneyland Hotel when it opened in 1992, and I didn't know that. So I was like, oof, it's like, this is perfect. So the beautiful music you hear on the promenades, he composed, and it's a wonderful story that he actually started his career right here at Disneyland Paris. So full circle.
Thank you all for joining us today, for your interest, and of course a big thank you to our speakers for sharing their insights. As we are exceptionally invited to enter the gates of this new expansion, please gather your belongings because the adventure begins now. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.